Today I'm going to talk about workload management, but since I'm not a PM and I've never been one, I want to talk about it from the perspective of someone whose workload is being managed for them and why I think it's one of the most important things a PM can do for their team and the project. I want to start by first saying that when I talk about having my workload managed for me, what I'm not talking about is being a mindless worker bee or robot who just checks tasks off a list with no autonomy or space for creativity. I'm not a resource. I'm a person with ideas and value that I can add to the project. I want to reframe the discussion about workload management as priority management. This may not be true for every role and every project, but in most cases, at least on bigger projects, the folks doing the work may not have a sense of the big picture of the project, so it can be tough for them to determine the most efficient task priority, and dare I say, it's not their fault. You might be thinking that this sounds like a recipe for micromanagement, and it could be, but if the PM is thoughtful and considerate of the project team's time and expertise, it will more often than not be a recipe for a healthy work-life balance and high-quality output from the team. Even though I may have a PM that's assigning me my work and taking care of the prioritizing for me, I still have some responsibility here. Remember how I said I don't want to be a robot? Your PM isn't a subject matter expert in your job, so it's important for you to keep an eye on your workload too, so that you can clearly communicate with them if you spot an issue. One way I like to do that in TeamGantt is with a calendar view, which gives me a really nice visual way to see what things I have coming up. If I see a day that starts to look like it's getting too crowded, I can reach out to my PM and we can work together on shuffling things around so that I'm not overbooked and the project stays on track. And if you're watching this video and you are a PM, remember, you have the largest share of the workload management responsibility. One way to always make sure you're keeping your team busy but not overloaded is to use the Availability tab in TeamGantt. With the Availability tab, you can see your team's workload as you're building out your project plan. If you start to see a lot of red boxes, that's an indication that your team might be getting overbooked. You can click on any of those boxes to drill down into that team member's assigned tasks to see what you can move around to relieve some pressure. Planning your projects with your team's workloads in mind from the beginning goes a long way in keeping your team fresh and working at their best. And in the end, that's what everyone wants. Now, I'd like to hear from you, whether you're a PM or not. What do you do to make sure your workload or your team's workload is managed appropriately? Let me know in the comments, and if you like this video, I'd love it if you could return the favor and hit that thumbs up button. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our videos. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.